little double
All right, so Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez did an interview with a one Chris Hayes, and here's a clip I saw, and she talks about how Kevin McCarthy is beholden to Q. And so if you're watching the full show, and not this clip, but, chances are you're watching the clip, right? But if you're watching the full show, I just played a clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene just acting like a crazy person, right? She's totally, she's a cue ball, basically. And so AOC is postulating that Kevin McCarthy is beholden to the cue balls because without the cue balls, there is no such thing as a Republican member of Congress. The cue balls are a required coalition or a required group rather in their coalition that can get them elected. So they're trying their best to placate them to run interference for the cue balls, and AOC's going out.
And it increasingly seems, unfortunately, that in the House Republican caucus, Kevin McCarthy answers to these QAnon members of Congress, not the other way around. And that is something that frankly needs to be said. He said he was going to pull Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene aside after, her comments to Parkland activists and comments saying that Muslim Americans should not fully and freely serve in the House, that they must be forced to swear on a Bible, etc. But I've seen Kevin McCarthy pull someone aside before for a talking to, and that representative that I last saw him do that to was Representative Ted Yoho of Florida. And what Kevin McCarthy did was that he pulled him aside to essentially excuse his behavior, to allow it and to abet it. And actually, Kevin McCarthy's lack of holding his own caucus accountable is one major reason why I went to the floor last year to hold Yoho accountable myself. And so when I hear that Representative McCarthy is going to pull a member aside who has made white supremacist sympathizing comments, the thing that I think is, what is he going to tell them? Keep it up? Because there are no consequences in the Republican caucus.
So I just want to say, what she's saying here is basically the leadership of the Republican Party is afraid of their base. Like, again, I covered a story earlier in the show. Mike Pence is afraid to buy a home anywhere because he doesn't want that to be public, because he doesn't want people to go to his house and kill him. Mike Pence is afraid that his own voters will kill him because he lost the election. Let that sink in. Mike Pence governed with Donald Trump so poorly that his own voters now want to kill him, to the point where he's afraid to sleep in one house for an extended period of time because he doesn't want to die. Now, fuck him. I don't care. I'm not trying to make, him to be like some sympathetic person. Fuck him. And that's the situation that describes this whole thing. Kevin McCarthy, also. If Kevin McCarthy were to hold his people accountable, he'd probably also get death threats out the wazoo. He'd probably also need Secret Service agents guarding him at all times. So I just want to throw that out there.
For violence, there's no consequences for racism, no consequences for misogyny, no consequences for insurrection. And no consequences means that they condone it. It means that that silence is acceptance, and they want it because they know that it is a core animating political energy for them. And this is extremely dangerous, an extremely dangerous threshold that we have crossed, because we are now away from acting out of fealty to their president that they had in the Oval Office.
Anyway, so the interview is a little longer, but this is just a snippet that I thought was pretty important. I might look through more of the snippets later. I got like a bunch of them, but this is the one I picked for today. And so basically what AOC is saying here is, again, these motherfuckers are just doing whatever they want. Like, again, it's like, okay, what if I were to beat the shit out of your grandma, steal her wallet, spit on her, and then, like, slam my boot on her ankle and break her ankle, and then just run away going, like, right, like, and then, the cops find out, and it's like, oh, but I want unity. What about unity? What? Like, oh, I'm sorry. No, actually, they never say sorry because they don't accept culpability. They say, what? You think I did what? Well, how dare you? I just want unity. How dare you make that claim? I know I'm on video several times doing this, and there is irrefutable evidence that I was there. I spit on her, and there's DNA that I left at the scene, and there's video camera of me doing all this. But how dare you ever even conceive of such a scenario? I want unity, good sir. I want unity. Like, what? Like, when you incite an insurrection that ends up with a dead cop, right, and a bunch of your own supporters dying on the floors of the Capitol, I'm sorry, motherfucker. The time for unity has long, long passed, right? These motherfuckers are so goddamn dumb. And so, like, again, it's the party of beta males. Like, and that's the problem with the Republicans is they do this, oh, I'm an alpha Chad. Oh, look, the Democrats are soy boy transgenders. I'm alpha Chad, real man. When they're afraid to talk shit about their president when they do something wrong, when they're afraid to even hold someone accountable for inciting an insurrection that killed 6 motherfucking people, including cops, by the way. And the only reason why I say that is because that's the Blue Lives Matter crowd. These motherfuckers all summer, Blue Lives Matter, blue, and then all of a sudden, I'm gonna beat the shit out of them with a fire extinguisher. It's like, right? I can't understand it. Right? So, like, these people are just dumb, and we need to get rid of the Republican Party. We need to destroy them. They need to be destroyed. They need to be eradicated. The party needs to go away. These people cannot have power. A lot of these people need to just be sent to jail. They are fucking criminals. These people have violated the law that we have. We don't need new domestic terror laws. We have domestic terror laws right now. These motherfuckers violated the laws, and we're not going to do anything because they're a member of Congress? What? Like, what? You're telling me Lauren Boebert giving tours of the Capitol and then people showing up knowing where everything is and then Lauren Boebert tweeting, Nancy's out of the chamber, Nancy's out of the chamber. You're telling me that she's just okay with that? Everything's fine? What? There's no law? What? 14th Amendment, Section 3. Get rid of the entire Republican Party. The Republican Party as a whole, not Donald Trump, not Mike Pence, not Mitch McConnell, not Kevin McCarthy, not Lauren Boebert, not Marjorie Taylor Greene, not Matt Gaetz. The Republican Party as a whole, yes, including Liz Cheney, yes, including Mitt Romney, the Republican Party as a whole facilitated the big lie that led to a Capitol insurrection that involved 6 people dying. They're a terrorist organization. That's what they are. If other countries in Europe can declare political parties that engage in terrorism as terrorist organizations, why can't we? The Republican Party is a terrorist organization. There were people that stormed the Capitol. There were Republican legislators, like state legislators from places like West Virginia. They are a terrorist organization. There is no if, there is no and, there is no but, there is no also, there is no actually, there is no however. The Republican Party is a terror organization. End of. If you disagree, then I'm sorry, you're a baby. If you get triggered and you post, I'm sorry, you're a baby. Facts don't care about your feelings. Shut the fuck up and get the hell out of my fucking life. Nobody likes you. You have no friends, and you really need to take a fucking shower because you are disgusting inside and out if you are a Republican. And so I love that AOC is just, imagine if we didn't have AOC right now. Like, imagine if Donald Trump incited a fucking Capitol terror attack and the furthest left member of Congress was, like, Jamie Raskin or something. Like, wow. Not to say he's bad, but AOC just has that way of speaking that's, like, you just understand it. And I just appreciate her so much for that. Yeah, that's all I have to say on that subject.